Morning. Yesterday, I forgot I was going out. Mark's not feeling great. He's got this horrible cough. Um, so he didn't fancy doing the live on his own, and I forgot I was going out. So I was just like, okay, we won't do the live, but I will try and do a quick live today. I might do another one today. I will see. Um, but I knew that I had a little bit of time this morning. So basically, my mum is going to pick me up in a bit. And then we're going out. We've got an appointment she's got an appointment at 11 o'clock. So I'm assuming she'll probably come and pick me up at 10:30. So not too long. Mark's still asleep actually. So he, like I said, it's not that he's not feeling well, but he's got this cough that's keeping him up at night as well. So obviously he's very tired and he likes to have a lay in on the weekend, don't we all? I'm only up this early because, well, I'm up early every day anyway, but I mean up, dressed, ready to go out. I've even got my Christmas jumper on. I don't know if you, yes, look at my little Christmas jumper. Do you know what? It's my first time this year that I'm actually wearing a Christmas jumper. I feel like that's quite strange because I feel like I should have been wearing Christmas jumpers from a while back, especially on the 8th because that was Christmas jumper day, but I've not. I keep forgetting to sort of like dig out a Christmas jumper. So this morning, especially for you guys, I hope you love my ears as well. I absolutely love these ears. I think I got them last year actually. In on the Disney website. I don't know if I've gotten Christmas ears again this year. I can't remember them doing it. I know I've bought a lot of so they're doing these sort of like main attraction ride ones. So I've been getting those. The last one has just come out. But I don't remember. I don't think I've bought a pair of Christmas ears yet. So I don't think there's any online, but I feel like these ones are really cute. So I just thought this and matches the red in this. And I thought, you know what? Today I'm going to be a little bit Christmassy because we're approaching that time, people. Um, so anyway, yesterday I went out and so I didn't get a chance to do the live. So I thought, do you know what? Let me quickly come on because I didn't want to leave you guys. At least if you want to watch it back later, you can. Um, but so yeah, so yesterday I was going out to meet like family and friends, and there was only about six of us, but we were going to go for like a Christmas dinner. And so I chose Coat because they have a Christmas menu and all that, and I had a look at the festive menu, and but we all opted to choose off of the main menu rather than choosing off the Christmas menu. But it was just so nice. Like two of the girls dropped out, unfortunately. One's not feeling well, and the other one, her little one's not feeling well. So it ended up being four of us. But it was so nice just to get together, have chat and all of this. We so so me and my sister-in-law Leisha, we said, right, let's get so Leisha was like, how are we getting there? And I was just like, oh, do you know what? Let's get an Uber or whatever. So, but the Ubers were coming up like so expensive. And so I rang a local cab company and they're like, so we ain't got nothing till tomorrow morning. And I was just like, what? Like, anytime. And I forgot that there was an actual train strike because there was a train strike yesterday. Mm, I'm drinking tea. I don't normally have breakfast in the morning. Sometimes on the weekend, if Mark's getting up and he's making breakfast, but he normally will sort of start breakfast around 10, 11 o'clock time. So we don't eat sort of like till pretty much lunchtime anyway. So I don't normally have breakfast in the morning, but I do like a cup of tea. Mm, so yeah, um, so yeah, the Ubers were coming up sort of like really expensive. I tell you, this cost of living crisis, cost of energy, sort of like the energy crisis and everything else is crazy. So um I said, oh, do you know what? I'll drive. So we were supposed to be there at 6:30. And before I went, I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna bake some cupcakes. for the girls, because I know, like my cousin Suze, she really loves the chocolate cherry cupcakes that I do. So, but I know Alicia's not that fond. She's like, a lot of people in my family, they don't really like chocolatey things, but then a lot of people, it's like, I'd say maybe 20% don't like chocolatey things, because even I was the same. I only like chocolate. I don't like chocolatey things. But for some reason now I'm quite enjoying like a chocolate cake. I never used to. So anyway, I thought, and plus with the chocolate cherry, you can do it all in one pan. So it was just really easy. It's one of the most easiest sort of like cupcakes to make. So I was just like, so I rang her because I didn't want to do sort of like 24, because my plan was to do, a batch of chocolate cherry and then maybe a batch of white chocolate lemon drizzle. Excuse me. But I realized I didn't have any lemons in the fridge. Like, how can you make lemon drizzle cake with no lemons in the fridge? I was like, oh my God. And then I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll do cherry and almond. So I'll do cherry chocolate and cherry and almond. But as time was getting on, I really didn't want to bake these cupcakes. And then I was going, no, don't bother making them. It's fine. Just go, blah, blah, blah. But I know my cousin, she really likes, and I always promise her, I'm going to bake you these these cherry chocolate cupcakes. So I thought, let me bake these cupcakes so that at least I know for Christmas I've given her, these cupcakes, in case I don't see her before Christmas. And it's unlikely that I will see her. I think this will probably be the time that I'll see her before Christmas. So so I knew Alicia didn't want any. So I only had to bake a batch of 12, which is great because that'll be 4 each. However, my other cousin didn't turn up and I thought, oh no. So I'd had these 3 boxes of cakes, and one for Evelyn, one for Suze, and then one for my cousin. And I was just like, oh, all right. I was like, okay, let me give Suzette 8 cupcakes. I know she really likes them. And so she's like, yep, I'll take them. That's great. I was just like, oh, that's cool then. So at least she's got, um, uh, like these cupcakes that I've been promising to bake her, and now she's got 8. So that's all right. And then I gave a batch to Evelyn. But it's all right with Alicia because I'm hosting Christmas this year. I'm going to do a few cakes. And so she'll get to have some of the other cakes, and they won't be chocolate. So she'll get a chance to have the other cakes. But it's surprising how, like, my brother, he doesn't like any, hey, Evelyn, oh, you're up. I'm shocked. I'm shocked you're up, Eve. I thought you'd be fast asleep. Um, but yeah, it's so funny that, like, with my brother, he doesn't like fruit in cake, so he doesn't like anything fruity. The perhaps the closest thing he'll eat is Victoria sponge. I've never, funny enough, I mean, I made a lot of Victoria sponges when I was younger, like a lot, but I've never made one in my adult life. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll eat a Victoria sponge, but I don't often bake. I haven't baked them like for many, many years. So I think I will try my hand at baking. And you think, oh yeah, Victoria sponge is like one of the most basic, simple cakes. Um, She's having a cupcake with her coffee right now. Well, I hope they taste good. So this thing, so let me quickly say it. So I baked these, so I decided to bake these cupcakes, and uh they only take 25 minutes to bake, but you have to get the ingredients ready and all that, and then you can just chuck them all in one pot and go. But my mistake, and I realized what my mistake was. So I filled the cupcake. So I had these cupcakes, these Christmas cupcake cases, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll use these. So I use these Christmas cupcake cases. Brilliant. But the problem with these cupcake cases, they didn't come up above the so you normally have a cupcake tin, and they didn't come up above the cupcake tin. And I thought, well, these are smaller than what they normally are. Anyway, I'm filling up the cupcakes, and I've got all this batter left over. So I over filled them a little bit. And then I'm just waiting for my mum because I don't know if she's going to message me and say, I'm coming. So then after that, I thought, right, okay, let me get the other cupcake tray out. And I filled like 3. And then then I had 3 left over. But these were bigger than the actual cupcake tins. So I was like, okay. So anyway, I put one in the top part of the oven and I put the other one in the bottom, not in the bottom, but in the middle. And I realized, and I've been making this mistake for like forever and a day. And every now and again, I don't do the mistake. But the mistake is not to put the cupcakes in the top part of the oven. Actually, put cakes and cupcakes in the middle part of the oven. And so when I put the 3 cupcakes in the middle part of the oven, they came out like almost perfect. And the ones but I didn't taste the ones at the top part of the oven. So I don't know how they are. So Evelyn, you can let me know how they are, if they are light and fluffy or if they are a little bit dry. I hope they're not dry. They shouldn't be dry, but they were just a tiny bit what I felt overdone. So maybe 1 minute overdone, possibly 2. Um, but I know they'll still be good because I've tasted it when like that before. But I just have to now remember. And the good thing with chocolate cake is you can leave it a little bit underdone because it would just be a little bit gooey and a little bit more. So that also is the good thing. And the thing with these chocolate cherry cupcakes is I made them with actual real chocolate. So a lot of chocolate cakes call for like cocoa powder, and that's good and everything, and they work. But the cupcakes, the chocolate cherry cupcakes that I do, it actually calls for real chocolate. And I like the cakes with real bars of chocolate rather than cocoa powder. Don't get me wrong, it's nice with cocoa powder and stuff, but it's just better with um uh like real chocolate. Sometimes it's the reason why I think maybe some of the cakes don't call for real chocolate is the fat content. So yeah, so I made it with so I made the actual cupcakes with dark chocolate, and then I made the sort of the fondant, the ganache on the top with milk chocolate. I feel like if you do it with dark chocolate as well on the ganache, it's too bitter for me. I feel like it's too dark. And I feel like with the milk chocolate, it balances out the flavor a lot better. And it's not so bitter, it's not so dark. So yeah, so I'm sure Evelyn will let me know how they are. I'll message Suze later again. How are the cupcakes? Are they okay? But today I've got a cup of tea and mm, I have a little Borders biscuit. So I've got a chocolate one, and I have a golden um oat crumble. Now this one's really nice. This one's nice as well, but if I had to choose, it's going to be this one over this one. But this one is quite a nice one. They also do a golden crunch. They also do like a fruit one, like with raisins or currants in it. That's really nice. It's probably the best one that Borders do. I really do like Borders biscuits. I'm not so much of a shortbread biscuit type person, but my mum likes it. I'm surprised because um so I didn't realize that my mum actually likes what you call it mince pies. I had to think of the word mince pies. But yeah, and I was so shocked. I was like, "Oh, you like mince pies?" Because a lot of people don't like mince pies. I love mince pies, but I can't eat like I can eat like 1 or 2. I can't eat like loads. So I thought for Christmas, I'm gonna get some mince pies in. But I didn't think my mum would eat mince pies, but apparently she does. But she likes the one with the pastry on the top. I like the one, the crumble top. I love, love, love crumble top mince pie. Anyway, I've ordered some. So basically, we're going to do like so we'll have our main dinner and everything else. And then in the evening, I'm going to do a little buffet table. And so on the buffet table, I'm going to put like mini mince pies. So if anybody likes mince pies, but doesn't like loads of mince pies or whatever, a nice mini one's quite nice to have. So I thought I'll put out some mini mince pies. And then I'm going to do my own brandy cream. Yes, I'm gonna do my own brandy cream. Like Mark was saying, oh, let's get the Bailey's one. So like so Bailey's are doing a cream at the moment. They're doing a thick cream and a pouring cream. So I am going to get some of that cream, but also I'm going to try making my own brandy cream this year. Why not? So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. What's everyone else up to today? So last night, met up with the girls. We went to Coke restaurant. Of course, Evelyn hates mince pie. Do you know what? I don't like Christmas pudding. I really don't like Christmas pudding, but Mark's family really enjoy Christmas pudding, so we're gonna have a Christmas pudding. Um, but it's just not one of them things. Like, I don't really like a lot. So like alcohol filled cake. Like, don't get me wrong, I love rum raisin ice cream, but sometimes you get rum raisin ice cream which is really strong, and I can't take those ones. But then you get the ones that are quite nice and palatable. And not a lot of places do rum raisin. Yeah, I hate Christmas pudding too. Yeah, I'm not a lover of Christmas pudding, but I do like mince pies. So I'm gonna make my own brandy cream this year, see how that pans out. I'm gonna buy some anyway, just in case. Because you don't want to make you know what? I should probably test it out and see how it yes, test it out before. I was just gonna do it on the day, but yeah, maybe I should test it out beforehand, see how the brandy cream. Yeah, I'm gonna try it, see how the brandy cream is. And then if it's good enough, I'll serve it. Um, and so yeah, so yesterday we met up with Eve. We went to a restaurant, and so we ordered our food. And if any of you know Coke Restaurant, they're dotted all around London. And I know I don't always, but they had pork on the menu, which I love. Like, they had this like belly pork on the menu, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll get belly pork. But because I did pork in the air fryer and it had a lovely crackling on it, I thought, do you know what? I'm not going to have pork. I'll have steak frites. Now I've had their steak frites before, and their steak frites are quite nice. Which is, it's not steak frites as in they cut the steak in strips like steak frites normally are. I think it's normally cut in strips. This is just a minute steak that they do, and I've had it like quite a few times. But do you know what? My instinct did say, like, this could be not a good one. And unfortunately, it was like I had the prawn gratin. So I had the prawn gratinate, right, for starters, and I was expecting it to be like a dauphinoise gratinate with, because like a gratinate is normally with potatoes, I suppose, or that's how I picture it, is with potatoes. So I thought it was going to be like prawn and potatoes. It wasn't. It was just prawn in a sauce. That's what it was. So if you're ever going to Coat and you're thinking, oh yeah, that prawn gratin, it's a tomato sauce with prawns and a little bit of croutons. So it's not like as I pictured it, gratinate with, you know, like potatoes and that. It wasn't disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't a what I thought it was, but it tasted delicious. It was very nice. Um, but the so when I ordered the steak fits, this is where it fell down a little bit, because there was so much gristle in this steak, I could not eat it. And luckily for me, I do not have a big appetite. Now, it costs £14, and in the grand scheme of things, with regards to steak in restaurants, £14 isn't bad, because there were other things that were 20, 30, 40, depending if you wanted ribeye. Like, I like a lovely ribeye steak. I think ribeye steak is really nice. So if you wanted a ribeye steak, or, you know, sirloin steak, I like a sirloin steak. But I'm always hesitant about ordering steak when I'm out. I hardly ever order it. As do you know what I mean? There might be one, possibly two places where I might order steak, but I hardly ever order it. I cook steak a lot myself, so I know how I like it done, and all of that type of stuff. But it's rare that I've been to a place and I really enjoyed that steak. And part of me did think not to go for the steak, but I went for the steak and I was disappointed. And I just thought, oh, but I didn't want to make a big thing of it. But I did think, oh, like, I could have got the pork belly, and the pork belly might have been a bit better. But yeah, that's my thing. I should have stuck to my instincts, really. And I was going to get the pork, but I thought, because I've had pork, let me just get steak. And I do like steak, but yeah, it wasn't good. And that was unfortunate. But never mind. Next time, because I do like Coke Restaurant. They're like I said, they're dotted all over London. If you and the prices for the food is really reasonable, and they do this menu, which is something like 16 or 17 pounds, like a set menu. And you can have like 2 courses or 3 courses, and I just feel like with if you want to go out and enjoy something with this cost of living crisis and you just want to go out and just have that little bit of, that's the, you should go to those types of places that have like little set menus, like something like £20 or less. And you wouldn't think it, but those places are around. The only thing that would fall down a little bit with the set menu is when you're ordering your drinks. So just be mindful because your drinks can be expensive. But if you're going to go for like Coke or tap water on your table or whatever, then you can stay within your limits. And don't forget they add on the service charge as well. So but I feel like set menus are a really good idea. If you're on a budget, you want a little bit of, do you know what? I just really want to go out and I just really want to enjoy something. Go to a place that has a set menu. Obviously they're done between a certain time and a certain time. So obviously be mindful of that. Some places do it on a Saturday. So between this time and this time on a Saturday, but majority of them, they're during the week. And normally before 5 o'clock. But some of them do carry on till 7. So you can be surprised. Just go out there and have a look and look for these like really great set menus. And if you just want to have something that's relatively not too expensive, but you want to go out and you just think, do you know what, I just really want to treat myself, then set menu is really a good idea. Even for some of the most expensive places, like Evelyn and I, we went to Houghton. My mum took me to Houghton first, and we got a set menu which was £55. Now £55 does sound like a lot of money, especially when you add on your drink and your so if you add on your drink and your service charge, it can. But let me tell you, it's in the Shard. And if you had the a la carte menu, it would be astronomical. You're talking in hundreds. Do you know what I mean? Like 100 and something pounds, £200, depending if you get your drinks and all of that. So to go to an expensive place and to have a set menu, that is a real great tip. Go, like if you want to have the experience, but you don't want to pay like hundreds of pounds, but you want to pay under £100 or something like that, set menu is the way to go. But Houghton has a really great set menu. They have two, because they have one that includes duck, which is a bit, yeah. I mean, I don't know what the prices are now because I haven't been lately, but yeah, the prices are better than obviously their a la carte menu. Um, so I had a look at the Ned. Now this is sort of the prices that you're looking at in this cost of living craziness. So when Mark and I we first went to the Ned is in the city and it's a really nice hotel. It's done in an old bank. Um, we went there and when we came back from Vegas, Mark wanted to go to somewhere that was a more of a high end buffet that had like really nice things. Excuse me. So I really went to have a look and I found one. And again, it was £55 and it was the Ned Sunday Feast. Now we're talking about sort of like 2017, 2018. It was £50 or £55 then. And you get unlimited lobster, unlimited oysters, you get your unlimited, everything is unlimited. They have roast pork, roast beef, roast chicken, poached salmon, loads of different salad. If you take a look at our older vlogs, you'll see the Ned among them. We've been to the Ned a few times and we've done a few vlogs on them. Anyway, just before the pandemic, or is it just, yeah, sorry, no, just after the pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, by the way. But anyway, just I think it was 2021. We managed to get the last seat at the Ned before it went into members only. Now, the thing is with members only if you're a member, and the membership was like £100 or £200 at that time. And only one of you have to become a member, and then you can sort of bring other people. I think up to 4 other people, maybe it can be 4 or 6. I can't quite remember. You can bring. on your membership, and then but you don't get any discounts on the actual feast itself. Now at this time, so when we went in 2021, the feast was £75, and so £75 each. That's without the wine and all of that sort of nonsense. And Mark and I don't drink. Sorry, it is with a glass of champagne. Sorry, or it's either champagne or prosecco. I can't quite remember. But Mark and I don't like champagne or prosecco, so we asked for something non-alcoholic instead, which we got. Now bearing in mind, it was 75. Now it's £90. So now they've taken away the membership to enjoy the feast. So now you can go without, needing membership to go to the feast. It's like £90, and I'm thinking, it's so. I tell you, this cost of living crisis is crazy. I mean, it was expensive at 50 and at 75. That's expensive. But £90, that is crazy. But I like a good old Toby Carvery. I'm not gonna lie, I love a good old and I feel it's really reasonable. It's like £11 or something like that. And if you go during the day, it's cheaper. If you go during the week, it's cheaper. Sunday's probably the most expensive, and even then, I don't think it's that expensive. I think it might be 15, maybe, or less. I think it's less than 15, but those are the sort of prices that you're looking at. And plus Mark's vegetarian, so he'll go for a plate, but he'll only go for the vegetarian stuff. You can have a vegetarian alternative, so like they'll bring you like a broccoli parcel or something like that, but I don't think it's unlimited broccoli parcel. Let's say I think it would be just the broccoli parcel, but you can then go up and have unlimited veg and all that. So Mark just normally opts to go for the veg, and I think it's something like £5 or £6, and I feel like that's such a reasonable price to pay if you just want to go and enjoy something. And not a lot of places do reasonable food, like when you go to Toby Carvery and you can get, hey Keegan, how are you? I hope you're well. Um, Not a lot of places do reasonable food, where you can get a whole meal and go up for more for like £10 or less than £10. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like it's such a shame that there's not more places that can do a meal for someone for such, do you know what I mean? For such reasonable prices. But even when you go to a normal, like well, not a carvery, but even when you go to enjoy like a Sunday, like a roast, and like a lot of places don't do roast unless it's a Sunday. But if you manage to find somewhere that does do a roast, it's not cheap. It's not, and you're getting your one plate, so it could be like 15, £20 for just one plate of whatever your roast is. Whereas if you go Toby Carver, you can go up again. No, I don't go up again really, but Mark does. He likes to go up again. And we even when we went with his family, we went to this place called the Pheasant, and they are you can go up again and get more food as well. I don't think I'm not sure if you can get more meat, but I know that you can get like vegetables and all the sort of like all the little bits that come, all the trimmings. So I feel like with regards to food, I hope that a lot of places do. Oh, where's Mark? Do you know what? Mark's still asleep. Um, he's not awake yet, but he was coughing all night. So he's got this cough. And he's just been coughing all night. So he's having a bit of, he has a lie-in on the weekends anyway, because it's the only time he actually gets to have a lie-in. But we might come back on later and do a live later, maybe. But I thought in case we don't, at least I've come on, because I'm sorry I didn't come on yesterday, but at least I've come on today and sort of like did a live with you guys today. My mum's due to pick me up soon, apparently, because we've got an appointment at 11. But she hasn't called to say, oh, by the way, I'm coming, or yeah, and she hasn't left a message or anything. I'm just checking my phone because it's almost 10:30 and I'm thinking, she hasn't come. Do you know what? So yesterday I went to get in the car to drive. And it was so frozen over, it was crazy. And I didn't um my mum gave me this glove scraper because when I drove the other day, I didn't have the scraper, but luckily my mum gave me this scraper. So it was so frozen. So Mark came out and he started scraping the car. I turned the car on to him to warm the car. My car's an old car. So he was scraping all the windows and everything. Anyway, so all yeah, I could see out the side windows. He scraped that and everything. Brilliant. He went to scrape the front windshield, which is fine. So he's scraping it along, but I still couldn't see out the front of the. And I thought, oh my god, is it frozen inside? So I went to touch the window and it had frozen inside. Somebody had left a crack in the back window, and so obviously inside it had frozen. And I just thought, oh, for God's sake. So yeah, so it was a bit frozen inside, and I was just like, when you get annoyed, and so I just had to wait for that to melt. And so you know what Mark did? He came in with the scraper. He started scraping it, and it's all falling over me. And I was going, "Oh my God, bless us and splash us, precious, bless us and splash us." And he was just on. I was going, "Stop it, stop it!" It was all coming in my face and everything else. I was like, "Oh my God." And I just said, leave it because it will melt. But then, obviously, as it started to melt, it was all dripping on my trousers, on my legs, and things like that. And I was just like, oh my God. And then, because Alicia doesn't live too far from me, I said, oh, let me go and pick her, not pick her up, but she already started walking. So I picked her up on the road, and then she was like, oh, but you need to go the other way. So I had to do a turn in the road. And then I was going, that's fine, because it was quite quiet. There's no cars coming. So, and like our road's quite busy. So I was like, oh, thank God I was able to just turn in the road and then just go on about my business. And then when she's going, she goes, oh, don't go up my road because like my road is icy. And I was like, well, it's all right. Let me drive up here and see, because I didn't want to drop her off on the corner, and I wanted to drop her off outside her house. So when we came back, I managed to drop her off at her house. That was fine. And then, but her road is so icy, is like really icy. Like you could easily skid, no problem. And it like a lot of it looks like black ice as well, that like dangerous black ice. But I can't believe all till now, with all the snow that we've had, and I'm looking in my garden, it's still frosted over. It hasn't disappeared. And apparently this weekend is supposed to warm up. So it's going to be like 14 or something. And somebody said, oh, it's going to rain. I thought, well, if it rains, I hope it doesn't freeze over, because that will just cause so much ice and so many accidents. Oh, let me see if this is my mum. I'll be back in a sec. Oh, it is my mum. It is my mum. Oh, there's one there. Okay, guys, so I have to go now. My mum has just arrived. So we're going to go off. If later on I can come back and do a live, I will. Oh, I'm doing very well, Keegan. I hope you're good too. So later on, if Mark's feeling up to it, because I know he's got a bit of a cough, then we'll come back and we'll do the live. Look at my mum, like she's coming in. She's saying hello. So, all right. So, we're going to go, and do you want to take your shoes off and say hello? So everyone, this is my mum. She's behind me now. But we're gonna go, and then hopefully later on we'll be back with Mark, maybe. But if not, then I'll see you on the regular Tuesday. All right. Have a great weekend, and hopefully see you later. If not, I'll see you on Tuesday. So be safe, take care, and remember, you're never too old to have fun. Bye for now. Keegan saying hello, mum. His name's Keegan. Bye for now.